I got it. You motherfucker. I got it. What the hell kind of button was that?
It said, hold on. I gotta catch up.
Oh my gosh. Yes, I will be coughing on stream, as you were about to say.
Well, maybe stop.
I'll do my best, but man, I look good. Look how white I am. My privilege.
Why do I look tanner than you in this picture?
Huh? Because you're further away from the light? What do you mean? It's how light works.
I'm getting tanned from fucking work lately.
Well, why are you fucking him then?
I'm getting tanned from my job.
Okay. Look, I don't know where you're doing this job at, but I'm going to need you to stop doing him outside, okay? Ask the producer for like some shade, a little cover up,
Listen, if I were fucking people for work, I should be making a lot more money than I currently
am. So, this is Mindless Prattle. I'm Jordan, the host. If you'll notice, I am not 100%. And I think it's because, let me back up. Ripley poisoned me.
I did not do shit to you, first of all.
Wow. And so that's why there was no episode last week. That and like the marriage thing. This week, we've been putting it off, hoping I get better. And I have gotten better, but not so much as to not have a cough. So now I get to cough in your ears for the next however long this is.
We know you love it, though.
Mm-hmm.
You cough fetishists.
But the good news is I only cough when I talk for a long time or when I laugh. So the podcast should really be no problem. Anyway.
Well, hello. Welcome back to Mindless Prattle, the show where we cough in your ears, apparently. That's Jordan, the coughing one.
And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, great, this is going to be a Ripley-heavy episode. You're right, but we hope that you endure it, all right?
Hey, they love me. I'm funny and I'm pretty.
This is an audio-only podcast, right?
Well, whatever.
Okay, well, she's not that pretty. I mean, beautiful is the word I would use personally, so I don't get stabbed, but...
I'm very gorgeous, thank you, mister.
Oh, we're moving up. We went from pretty to gorgeous.
Speaking of, we got married.
What's the scale, do you think? Like, what's the scale? Like, pretty is the lowest? Or, like, what? Then, like, is gorgeous the best?
I think ugly is the lowest.
No, we're talking the pretty scale. I don't talk to ugly women. So
I think it would be pretty to ethereal / radiant.
Yeah, you got to give me the whole list, not just what words you come up with. Go on.
Pretty. Cute.
Wow. Cute is better than pretty?
Cute, pretty.
No. You can't change your mind now.
Attractive.
Wow.
I don't have a scale. It's just like there are certain words women prefer to other words.
Which ones do you prefer? You prefer cute over pretty?
Well, if you called me your radiant, ethereal goddess of eternal light, I would like that a lot better if you were like, oh, you look pretty today.
Oh, boy. We're not stringing words. These are single words. And I'm not writing dictionaries over here.
Ethereal, then.
Just single words. Just bam.
Ethereal.
Yeah, I know that's the end point. I'm trying to get to that. What is the middle ground?
Beautiful.
Uh-huh. And then?
Gorgeous.
And then? Nothing. Nothing's radiance after gorgeous. Okay. And then what?
Ethereal.
And then ethereal. We're not going to put stunning on the list.
I didn't think of stunning.
Well, that's why I'm asking.
That's your job.
No. So where's stunning at?
I think stunning's probably after gorgeous.
After gorgeous?
Yeah, because stunning implies like you're so beautiful that it's literally stunning. Like you have to take a second and be like, whoa.
I thought that was breathless.
Breathtaking?
No, you're breathless. It's fine.
No, I'm not.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
But, yeah. What would the scale for, like, men, like, non-gender neutral terms?
What? Men, non-gender neutral
Like,
terms. What the hell does that
typically
mean?
people don't call men beautiful or gorgeous unless like they're crazy attractive or something and have like long locks of hair.
No, it goes from you look good. Here's what it is: when you're a kid, you're cute or you're a handsome little man, and then you move on. You get a little bit older, right? And then you get called cute in a different way, right? And you're like, oh, that's cute. And then it goes on to like, you look good. And then above that is like, you look very handsome today. And that's it. Those are the only three. There's no in between there.
I'm gonna have to come up with more words.
Come up with more words.
Because you deserve to be called so much more than handsome.
Excuse me. So much more than
I
handsome.
will say, it took me a really long
A
time
nice
to be comfortable,
gentleman.
like, complimenting you.
Gentleman would be good. Like, you look like a nice gentleman. I don't know.
Like, you know, like saying sexy or things like that. Like, I don't know why it felt so weird to me for a really long time to say things like that to you. But now I want you to know how amazingly attractive you are and like how much I desire you and like I just want you to know how loved you are.
Yeah. I think when I wake up and haven't been stabbed, it's a pretty good testament.
What?
Because if I wake up and I've been stabbed, then I'd be like, oh, something went wrong.
Why would you be stabbed?
Well, in case you stab me.
Why would I stab you?
Exactly.
Are
if
you
something
cheating
goes
on me?
wrong. That's all I'm saying.
Listen, I wouldn't just stab you. You'd have to really fuck up, and then it's like, oh, your penis is coming off.
See? Stabbed.
I wouldn't do that, though.
Stabby.
Like, I've always been the kind of person, I'm like, if you've cheated on me or you've done me wrong, like, I would just stop talking to you. Like, somebody told me I'm really cold one time, and I was like, it's not cold if I'm not willing to be disrespected.
Not willing to be. I'm not willing to be disrespected. I'll just ignore you forever. Oh, okay.
Like, if that's what you want, like, I'm amazing. Fuck off.
I'm amazing. Fuck off.
I am. You know, like, I have confidence issues sometimes, like anybody does, but, like, at the end of the day, like, I'm educated and I took it upon myself to be educated. Like, I'm the first person in my family to graduate from college. I'm very pretty. That's fine. It's easy to be attractive. Like, sometimes you can just put some effort in and, like, make yourself attractive, you know? Like, you don't have to be born naturally good looking to be attractive. But it's like, I go out of my way
It
to
certainly does help, though.
It does help. But, like, I go out of my way to be, like, kind and nice to people, even to the people who don't deserve it. Like, I think there's a lot you can do to make yourself a more attractive person without being, like, stereotypically good looking.
No, we're talking only physical here. I'm not talking about your mentalness.
And I have great tits.
I'm not talking about mentalness.
If we're going by mental health, then no, I'm not very attractive. But yeah, we got married. It's been a fun week.
Oh, you just want to circle back around to that so badly, don't you?
I'm so happy we got married. Our wedding was amazing. Yeah, it was Skyrim themed.
I was there too. It was good.
The decorations were great. Everybody was complimenting them, and we exchanged swords, and everybody was complimenting that. Like,
the swords were the highlight.
We had such a great wedding.
Which is good because that was my idea. So, no.
We had a really cool wedding.
Oh, you don't want to admit that part? Okay.
A lot of the ideas for the wedding were yours. I'm just very happy with how it turned out. Like, I feel like nothing really went wrong. And the stuff that could have gone wrong, I just didn't give a shit about. I was like, it's my wedding. I'm going to ignore it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, we're happy and we're going on honeymoon soon. So that's cool.
Yes.
But enough about us. I guess we should talk about other things.
Go on.
Okay, so Assassin's Creed Shadows.
What about it?
It looks cool as fuck, doesn't it?
It does look very cool as fuck.
Oh my god. We watched the trailer and you can play as, like, what is it, a shinobi warrior?
Yeah.
Or, like, this samurai guy.
Your way with words is amazing.
I haven't played an Assassin's Creed since Valhalla, which that wasn't super long ago. Like, I think there's only been one or two since then.
No, there's been one, and it was dog shit. It was like a DLC that should have stayed a DLC. Mm-hmm. that they made into a full game for some
And
reason.
I can't say I'm a huge Assassin's Creed fan. Like, I played Black Flag, I played Valhalla. I didn't even finish Valhalla. But this one, I'm like, I've always thought an Assassin's Creed in Japan would be cool as fuck. Like, I would love to play it. I'm so excited.
Yeah, comes out November 15th. People are upset
Stupid people are upset.
that there isn't a white person that you can play that's a man, which is interesting because it takes place in Japan, but okay.
Also, can I just say this? White people are not the center of the universe.
No, and like I was saying earlier, it's a funny argument to me when people are like, "Oh, there's no white man in this," like blah blah blah. Blah. Like, why do you want to play as a white man in every video game? Do you just love staring at dudes' asses that much? Like, I don't.
Plus, I don't know about you, but like, I play video games because I want to explore parts of the world that I can't just go out and see every day.
Well, I get the other side too. Is like, oh, I want to envision like myself in this world, and you're like, that's fine and all, but
that's a dumb point of view. No offense.
But like, why?
Because
video games are used to escape reality. If you want to envision yourself in that reality,
because if you
if it helps you to look at yourself in that reality as a white person or whatever ethnicity you are, then it helps you immerse yourself a little bit more. Sure. But if you just want to be a white person in a video game because there's no option to be a white person, that's very different.
Because I think that, like, if that's what you want and you want that kind of game, you should be playing like RPGs with customizable characters. You shouldn't be playing a game that's like dedicated to a certain time period and part of the universe.
But we don't get to pick that, do we? We're consumers, not developers.
If you want to play a game where you can do that, go play Elder Scrolls Online. Go play like The
Sims. Don't like
create your own character.
If you don't like them,
well, it sucks to suck. You can't have everything.
You say that, but you complain more than most about things like that, where I just want to play a protagonist where I get to do a cute character creation and go through my whole world. And you still play other games.
But I play other games because I'm not a self-centered piece of shit.
You still play other games, but in other games, you design characters that look like you, right?
No,
like
not
even
really.
in like Stardew Valley, you'll make little people that have like similar hair colors or like cool hair colors like yours, and you'll play as them. You don't design male characters, do you?
Sometimes.
In Stardew Valley?
Well, I haven't played that in a long time.
But you know what I'm saying, though.
I usually, in Stardew Valley, I usually click randomize until I think it's cute enough and I'm done. I don't like go in like, it needs to look like me, because the point of video games is that I don't want to be me. I want to go explore a fantasy life.
Yeah, you can explore a fantasy life as a character of you. It's not some crazy notion that I proposed. Like, why you acting like it's crazy?
I just think if like, it's like you just don't have to play it if all you want is a game where you can look like yourself.
No, you don't have. I'm saying if it's a game where there's set characters in a story, then yes, it's silly to be upset that you can't play as yourself in that game, right? But I'm saying people do play games to do that, and you said no, that's a dumb point of view.
I also just think it's not a dumb point of view
to want to be in a video game.
Well, I also think it's a weird point of view because almost everything has been catered to white men for like years and years. Why is it like a problem now that there's diversity?
We're talking about two different subjects. We're talking about just people wanting, the reason people want to play games and play as themselves versus people that complain about a game that they can't play as themselves. It's two different things. I don't agree that people should be complaining that there's no white protagonist in this Assassin's Creed that takes place in Japan. They shouldn't, because it's not their game. They can go play something else if they don't like it. Mm-hmm. I'm saying if there's an option in a game to play as somebody who looks like you, and that's the way that they prefer to play because it's more immersive to them, then they should be able to do that.
Yeah.
But you said that's a dumb point of view.
That's two different conversations.
Like, right. That's what I'm telling you. We moved over to the reason we play video games, not the reason we're yelling at video games. I know. We transitioned and you tried to blend it all together.
I guess that's true. I think like, why would you play video games if you just want to like look like yourself in a different setting?
We have had numerous discussions about which video games you would want to live in, though.
Yeah, but that's like if we were actually living in them.
But that's what I'm saying. It's the same mentality, though, of living in the video game or putting yourself in the video game and controlling a character that looks like you. It's the same mentality.
I still wouldn't want to look like myself. I want to be way cooler.
You just spent like a whole 10 minutes arguing about how beautiful you were.
Yeah, but like in a video game, like
you'd be ugly in video game worlds.
I could have longer, better hair. I could have elf ears. I could have green skin. First of all, why would you want to be white? Like white is literally like the most boring skin color. I could be green or
Oh
blue.
my
I
gosh.
can be dark
That's your
skinned.
mentality,
Like,
but like that's what I'm saying is like you don't have a choice. You're trapped in a video game. You'll be you, right?
that's boring.
It's not boring. You live in a video game. Like you designed a character in GTA that looks almost identical to you.
No, she's kind of uglier.
You know what I mean, though.
But that's
Like you
because
didn't design it as a completely different person. Be like, this is not me. It's
no,
Rebecca from work.
it's
Like
because
you
when I
designed it
first
like
played
that.
GTA Online, I didn't understand the character creator very well.
That's not what I'm saying. It's not like you set out to be like, oh, I want this character to look completely different from me. You just made a character, and
Mm-hmm.
some of the characteristics are the same. You
Yeah.
both had red hair. You both like wearing heels. Like you're both doing that. Like they're both the same shit. You can't tell me that it's illogical to make a character that looks like you in a
I
video
think in a
game.
fantasy video game, like GTA, I wanted it to look like me because it's like it's modern, you know. So it's like I'm the person committing crimes.
Yeah, but even like your character in Baldur's Gate, it still has similar like facial features to you.
I don't think so. You can't even choose your own facial features in Baldur's Gate. You can just choose like based off of like their pre-made characters and then adjust.
Right, but of the face structures that were options, you chose the one that was closest to you and then changed the hair and the skin color and other things. Like you didn't choose the giant burly man, did you? No.
No, because I want to look at women.
Exactly my point. And you chose the cute one that looks similar to you.
I didn't know she looked similar to me.
Everybody unconsciously chooses things that look similar to them. That's what we look for in character creation. That's why people like all the options.
I just wanted someone pretty to play
Unless you're
as.
specifically picking like, oh, I want to make the ugliest dwarf possible. Then you pick other things that aren't you.
I mean, this might sound kind of conceited. I just don't want to be ugly.
That's what I'm saying. You're too used to being beautiful in real life. You can't even conceive of it in a video game.
I didn't choose
Like,
to be
what if you
beautiful in
get?
real life.
I didn't say you did. I said you're too used to it in real
Oh,
life.
you're too used to it. Okay. I thought you said you choose to be beautiful in real life. And I was like, I didn't though. I just kind of looked like this. Like everybody said I was ugly when I was a kid. And then I grew up. And everybody was like, wow, glow up. And I was like, fuck you, assholes.
Anyway, the point is, people like seeing themselves in video games or other worlds or imagining themselves in those scenarios because it's fun and it's a good part of escapism. Right?
Yeah, I get that. I just think it's dumb in the context.
It's a dumb thing
like,
where
AC.
people. It's a dumb thing where people can't be like, oh, I really like that, and I like being able to do that in some games, but I also want to play Assassin's Creed and play as that character and play through their story. If you can't enjoy, oh my gosh, if you can't,
If you can't what now?
if you can't, if you can't enjoy a game unless the character looks like you or you have control over what the characters look like in the story, then you shouldn't play that game because that story is not for you. That's all I'm saying.
No, that makes sense.
Like I fully support you being able to create whatever character you want in games that support that.
Like I played
But if it's
Subnautica and I didn't get mad that I was a male.
Yeah, but if it's like a story-based game where they're telling you a story of that character, they're not going to create 18 different characters just to maybe appease a few more people, you know?
And I'll say, like, I haven't liked, I don't like every female protagonist or game that has, like, different ones. Like, what was it? Which Assassin's Creed with it was Cassandra and her brother?
Odyssey.
Yeah, I tried to play it. I didn't really like the story, so I just stopped. But, I tried to play it for you.
It was a decent story. The gameplay and the mechanics were much better than the story. But if you chose the brother, you got really shitty voice acting. So, like, you almost had to choose Cassandra instead of him.
Yeah, like, I chose her, and I was like, I'm not really into the story. Like, I don't know. Like, it just wasn't for me, which is fine.
It was good. I liked Cassandra
as a for you.
I liked Cassandra as a character, and like I said, the mechanics were really fun. But the story was just okay.
Valhalla, though? Fucking love Valhalla. I just have a short attention span, so like it took me too long to complete, so I moved on to other things.
Oh man, Valhalla's a bitch to complete. I completed it. I 100%ed it back before any of the DLCs came out, and then more came out. So now I don't have the 100% anymore, and I'm like, well, either way.
Rude.
Yeah.
So speaking of video games.
Sure.
I know we already talked about this, but I wanted to mention it on the podcast. Can you believe EA thinks it's a good idea to have in-game ads like on their loading screens and shit?
Oh my
Because I
gosh,
would not
that's
touch another. I'm a huge Sims lover. Like I've talked about it before. I love the fucking Sims. I've been playing since The Sims 2. If they put ads in their game that I'm fucking paying for, no. I will never spend another fucking dime on their video games ever. Ever.
no. We talked about it. Like there used to be ads in games, but it would be like an ad for Red Bull on a billboard that you drove past in like a racing game,
Mm-hmm.
and you'd be like, "Oh, that's cool." But if it's something that takes you out of the game world, like in a loading screen, it just an ad for like Chili's plays, you'd be like, "What the hell was that?"
No.
You know,
Like
like
streaming has gone far enough. We don't need it taking over our video games too.
yeah, it's bad. I'm like, especially when prices of games are going up a little bit too, and then people wonder why. Why more like smaller games are getting more
Mm-hmm.
traction than these larger games. It's like, well, I can buy two good games that have been developed for 3 years or 4 years and they're $30 and $40, right? Or I can buy one AAA game from EA for $70 and it has bugs in it,
Yeah.
and because you only worked on it for a year and a half and tried to push it out to make more money. It's like I'd rather buy the two smaller games, you
Yeah,
know?
and you know, it's like it just feels good supporting an indie dev. Like Stardew Valley wouldn't have gotten as big as it was if it wasn't very well developed, a beautiful gameplay,
Mhm.
story world, and now he's able to go and make more games because so many people love it
Yeah.
that it's like, why would I spend $70 supporting some big name corporation when
Same
I
thing
could get a
with
game just as good for half the price?
Same thing with the guy who made Forager. I don't know if you played
I haven't
Forager.
known.
Forager is great. It's an amazing game. It was made by one person. The only reason that it got published is because he went to a Gamescom, like a development like conference, and a buddy of his was playing the game, or was it? It was either a buddy of his or somebody that was passing by was playing the game, and this guy that was playing his game played it for so long that he missed one of the panels that he was supposed to go speak at. So the organizers came and found him like after the panel was over. The other guys that were on that panel came over and talked with him and was like, "Hey man, where have you been?" He goes, "Oh, sorry, I lost track of time. I was playing this game. It's really fun." And so they started playing it too. And so all this like panel of like six developers were like, "This is a great fucking game. We want to buy this from you
Yeah.
and develop and publish it for you." You know, and like that's how that's how he got his game going. But it's a great game. I recommend it.
Yeah, it's like, you know, some of my favorite games are AAA games, but like the older I get, it's like I just can't shell out that much money for one game a year
No,
when I could buy like five for the same price.
no, and especially with like Call of Duty, like they're on Modern Warfare 3 that released, and then some other things came out. I'm like, and it all feels like the same generic like thing that they're trying to push out, but
Mm-hmm.
mainly because they put it all in one app on like the Xbox homepage or the Steam homepage or the their PlayStation homepage.
And they force you to download all these extra fucking pieces.
Yeah, now it's like the Call of Duty hub, and it has like Warzone, DMZ, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, this and that. And I'm like, I don't want a hub with like 6 games and I only own 2 of them, and you're just giving me ads for the other 4 because they're newer. I just
Like,
want to play the game that I own.
I
Like
don't know who
it's
needs to hear this, but I just want to play Call of Duty Zombies without installing 50 other fucking games.
yeah, there's that too, and that's the other part too is to install. Like I only have Call of Modern Warfare 2. I don't have 3, and then even and I don't have the was it the campaign, right? Oh no, I do have the campaign. So I have the campaign and Modern Warfare 2. I don't have Warzone installed. I don't have Modern Warfare 3 installed. It's still like
Mm-hmm.
230 gigabytes. I'm like, this is ridiculous for 2 games. For one campaign and one multiplayer is 230 gigabytes. Like it's a quarter of the fucking hard drive that the
Yeah.
Xbox comes with. I'm like,
I I do think that's why games like Power World got so popular because it's like games like Pokemon do the same thing over and over and over again. And sure, it's fun and it works, but like at a certain point, like you just want to see like what
mm-mm.
innovation is out there.
Well, that and plus, I'm like, you play Power World. Power World's like 9 gigabytes. You know,
Yeah.
like a 10 gigabyte game that you can play for hours and hours. I'm like, shoot, I'll take that. Like,
And I mean, even Pokemon, like I'm replaying Pokemon Shield right now, and I'm like, this is fun. I don't have to buy a ton of extra content. Like, yeah, there's DLC if you want it, but it's not required to like enjoy the game. You
Yeah.
know, it's just like you can just sell a complete game.
Yeah, it's a crazy fucking concept nowadays.
Especially like it all comes back to EA. I have a love-hate relationship with EA. Like, why can't I just have The Sims? And every time they introduce more content into The Sims, it just breaks the game even more, and they never address the old issues, and it's getting so fucking
It's
tiring.
because I think they developed the old or like the new packs and they're like this looks good and they push it out, but they never do like any of the integration testing.
Well,
But
it's also because they don't do QA testing at all. Like,
oh
they
really?
basically are using the player base as QA testers at this point. Like, they don't have enough people testing their games or anything before they come out. They're just like, here, buy this, and then
Mm-hmm.
people report bugs, and they're like, okay, we'll try to fix it.
Yeah, we'll see.
And it's been years, and there's certain bugs that like still haven't been fixed. Like, the game is so tangled up at this point that like
Yeah.
I don't think they could even feasibly do it.
Mm-hmm. I watched a stream or a little YouTube clip of a stream of a guy. It was he was streaming this little indie game on Twitch, and he was trying to like unpack like a flagpole or something in the game, and it wouldn't come out of the box. So he just kept throwing the box around. He's like, I don't know what's happening with this. Like I bought it, but it won't come out of the box. Maybe it's broken. Maybe I need to unlock something else before I can open it. And one of the one of the guys in chat, he goes, "No, that's definitely a bug." And he goes, "Oh, you think it's a bug? It might be." And he goes, "No, I'm a developer on the
The guy
game."
who fixed it like while he was
Yeah,
streaming. Oh
he's
my god, I
like, "No,
saw that.
I'm a developer on the game. Give me a second." And he goes, "Oh, okay, cool." And he goes, and then a couple minutes later, he goes, "The patch was just pushed out. It should be fixed now." So he reloaded his game, and sure enough, it worked. He goes, "That's the fastest I've ever seen
Yeah.
anything get fixed. Like what? What just happened?"
I saw that clip. Like, that's why you should support indie game devs because like they give a shit, man.
They're like, "Oh, I'll fix it." And you're like, "All right."
Or it's even like I've met some game developers playing smaller games and them just being like, you know, when I used to stream, they'd be like, wow, like I'm so grateful for you for streaming this game. Like, wow, I'm glad you like it. I'm like, you make me feel like I'm a celebrity or something, dude. Like, thank you. Sorry.
No, my voice is getting pretty bad. I don't know how much longer we can go this week.
I was like, what else do I got to talk about?
What else do you have to talk about?
Oh, my favorite is like this week. So I've been learning Spanish for a while. And I just think it's so funny, like how amazed, like, or how happy native Spanish speakers are when you speak the tiniest amount of Spanish to them. And I know it's because our brother in law was like, you know, a lot of people don't even try to like speak Spanish. So, like, to them, it's great. But, like, I noticed this customer was speaking like half Spanish, half English. And so I was like, ¿Qué tamaño? ¿Qué sabor? Just asking him very basic questions about flavor, size, things like that. And he goes, oh, you speak Spanish? In Spanish. And I was like, un poquito. And he just like laughed and smiled. And it was like, I made his whole fucking day. And I was like, I just think it's common courtesy. Like, I'm in a place where there's a lot of Spanish speaking people, same as when we lived in Vegas. Like, English isn't the like super dominant language. Why wouldn't I learn to communicate with other people?
I think English is the most spoken language now in the world, isn't it?
I thought Chinese was.
I think it's English because English is taught as a primary second language in China. So with the number of people that speak like Chinese and Mandarin, plus everybody else in the world that speaks English, and I think now it's English.
Okay, actually, so the top 10 most spoken languages, you were right. Number 1 is English.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 is Mandarin.
Yep. That's
3 is Hindi, actually. I wouldn't have guessed that, but that makes sense. India has a really big population.
Yeah.
Spanish, French, Bengali, modern Arabic, Portuguese, Russian, and Urdu. Oh, that's interesting. Urdu is from Africa, right?
I think so. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, no, I knew English was now number 1.
It also says for the easiest languages for English speakers to learn include Norwegian, Swedish, Spanish, Dutch, Portuguese, Indonesian, Italian, French, and Swahili.
Swahili was fun.
You know a little bit, right?
I only learned like a phrase, but it's just so fun to me because I'm like, I don't know when you would ever use that. Like, I'd never even been to a country that speaks Swahili.
Even when you went to Africa?
No, it wasn't their spoken language. They made me learn like phrases of it, even though it wasn't their language. I'm like, who decided this? I don't
That's
know.
really funny.
Yeah, so like I never used it.
I like French because like when you learn French, like there's a lot of French words and they just mix like random English fucking words into their language.
I think it's interesting that it said Spanish was easy to learn. Japanese has been easier for me to learn than
Really?
Spanish. Yeah, because it's so different. Like in English or in English, and when I was learning Spanish, I kept trying to compare it to English and be like, oh yeah, it's similar but different. It's similar but different. But with Japanese, it's just completely different. So I'm like, oh, okay, this makes sense. This makes sense to me that it's this word
You know,
means this thing.
one
Yeah,
of my
got it.
coworkers told me Korean is actually one of the easiest languages to learn
Hmm.
because it follows like a four thing. So like if you learn like the
I like the
basics of it,
patterns.
it's really easy because it all follows like these four basic speech patterns.
Yeah, I started learning some patterns for Japanese of like certain phrases that would mean like where is or whatnot. But it's like 3 words, but together spoken really quickly, and it means like where is and then whatever the first word was, you know.
I do think like Spanish is kind of the same way. Like if you learn the words "Donde está," you can find pretty much anything. La aeropuerto, donde está el baño, donde está la, like anything. Even if you don't know the word, you could probably say donde está la bathroom, and like someone's gonna understand what you're looking for. You know, like if there's, I'm sure like most languages are like that, where if you learn like 4 or 5 key phrases, like you can get around most of the time.
Yeah. I also like that when you're going through Duolingo, maybe most of the time it's not 100% accurate in some of their translations, but I do like the style that they teach you first is like how to ask where things are, like the bathroom, the airport, like things you'll need while traveling. And then it's like, here's how to order like food and drink that are common in the country that, you might be going to.
It does depend on the language though, because like Spanish like goes from this to this, and then it goes, here's how to say where you're from and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, but like how do I say these other important things? And then French is like, hey kid, you want to learn how to say everything really fast?
Yeah, French is something else entirely.
I love French. And I think it helped me knowing French before Spanish a little bit because like they're so similar, you know, they're romance languages, no big deal. But I do like learning new languages. I wish I could just like learn all of them instantaneously.
Right.
There is that earpiece you can get that like translate languages for you, and it works pretty well apparently for like 25 languages.
Does it? Interesting. I've never heard of it.
Oh, I don't remember what it's called. It's probably really expensive to buy one, but
I would imagine if it's
it works
translating
well.
in real time.
I don't really know what else to say. I've just been playing Pokemon Shield and working.
Yeah. I'm just my voice is going out, so I'm like, yeah, Ripley's time to talk.
The new season of Bridgerton came out. I watched.
And that's gonna do it for us this week.
Motherfucker.
We're what? Did you have more to say?
I was talking about Bridgerton.
Yeah, that's why we're done now. You don't need to roll your eyes. It's okay. I'll save the audience.
I do need to roll my eyes because it's really good so far, and I can't wait for the next few episodes to come out. Because they're releasing it half and half. The carriage scene, I gotta show you the carriage scene.
Okay.
After this podcast, I'll show you.
You didn't want to talk about anything else? That was it? That's the whole spiel?
Nope. All you need to know is the carriage scene. Watch it. You'll be rewinding for hours.
Rewinding for hours. All right.
I love it when men are stupid feral for their love interests. Like, you don't care about looking like an idiot because you love her so much. Love that.
All right, take us out of here.
All right. Well, that's all we got for this week. Sorry for the short episode, but Jordan's like sick or something. So that's Jordan. I'm Ripley. If you like what your ears heard, we're sorry that we don't talk to you more. We're getting back on schedule and everything.
Yeah. And if we're not here next week, it's because I finally succumbed to the poison. It was Ripley. Ripley did it.
Succumbed?
No.
Okay. Well, we hope you liked this episode. We sure did, I guess. Please like, subscribe wherever you listen, and we will see you guys next time.
And don't forget to succumb.
Goodbye. You gonna stop? You gonna stop recording?
What do you mean?
You gonna Succumb to the stopping?
No, succumb. It's past
Succumb
tense.
where?
It's past tense.
Ugh, just stop recording.
It's like when you're in a field and there's a bunch of people like camping and you're walking
Fucking
past.
intense?
No, you're walking past all the tents. It's past tense.
Okay. Goodbye.